There are two things about learning goals I'd like to start with. First of all, the teacher's part of the learning goal is for you to be able to articulate how it falls into the overall curriculum and standards. It's not in isolation. You may not have that part written down, but in your mind it should be really clear. Why am I doing this? How is it going to support my students' learning? Even for activities such as, oh my God, it's Friday, we survived the week, we've got spring break coming up, I'm going to do a movie. There should be some thoughtful planning on that. If you're going to do something like that, there should be a reason that ties into your curriculum. So your learning goal is going to reflect that. Know what you intend to accomplish. Know how the lesson fits in with the overall unit and the curriculum. So again, you're bouncing back and forth between that little detail and the big picture thinking. And the big picture might be a unit, might be an overall topic, it might be an overall skill, it might be a standard. So we're starting with the end in mind. And two things to really keep in mind is that your learning goal should work. It should be purposeful. You should have a reason you're teaching what you're teaching, and it should be relatable to students. They should have a reason to care. Now, you might have to struggle for that reason sometime. If you're doing, say, a particular technique, perhaps in like a math class or a science lab or something like that, you may have to really stretch to come up with a reason for them to care about it above and beyond the fact that it's just part of something you have to learn. But that's where your challenge as a teacher comes in. And in most cases, because the district has done a lot of the prep work in terms of the big picture thinking, even dividing things up into units or quarters or whatever it might be, that frees you to really focus more on that individual learning goal and how it's going to just sing out and grab your students. Okay, so, and you know, the students will be able to thing, right? That's pretty standard run-in for a learning goal. Why are learning goals important? And this comes from Doug Fisher, Fisher and Frey, all the work they've been doing with gradual responsibility and dealing with English learners, all of things which are very important to us at our district. The whys. First of all, a learning goal focuses the student's attention. Focuses your attention too, for that matter, right? It alerts the learner to the key ideas that are going to be coming up. It prevents side trips on your part, you know, the bird walk. And it gives you a reason to redirect students when they kind of derail you too, to get back to the main function of what it is that we're learning for the day. And it can be used as you're doing quick formative assessments, checks for understanding, that kind of thing throughout your teaching process. You'll hear a lot of arguing, a lot of debate, a lot of explicit description of learning goals. And this will change a lot from site to site, for the district as a whole, what you might have heard in teacher training, what you might be currently doing now. But in general, there are going to be different types of learning goals. Content, which is based on a standard. A language goal. How are students going to articulate or write or demonstrate that they got it through the use of language. And a social goal. Okay. Now, on your table, you guys have an envelope that does not have a name on it. I have found some learning goals that are in that envelope. They're a whole page worth, all cut up into little teeny tiny strips. I'm sorry, one of you is missing one because my cat grabbed it and ripped it up last night while I was cutting them up. So sorry. I told you I'd be telling you. I know, it wasn't the goat. The baby goats were already back in the pen. They were not eating things, although they were in the house for a while yesterday and did leave little trail of poop all over. Really fun. At least goat poop is easy to clean up. So, yeah, my life is too weird. Okay, so we're going to talk about good, bad, and ugly. I would like you with your teammates, your table mates, to sort these learning goals. Practice makes perfect with learning goals. Well, you know, sort of. But Max is shaking his head here. No, it doesn't.
It's because he drank 3 juices.
You might need a restroom break. Okay, so it will get easier, and it is hard to take in everybody's opinion about what it should be. It can be very frustrating. But I'm going to give you the charge that I'd like you to just consider making sure that you have them and that they really do have a goal that is functional and relatable, that students can relate to. An example might be, I'm going to write one every day. It's a good start. Make sure you do it. An example might be, make sure it's functional or purposeful or relevant, that you're going to post it, that you're going to find some way for students to interact with it, whatever. Just pick one thing that you can really start to do next.